Hello folks, this is another one of my old League of Legends re-uploads originally created for the Button Mashers channel. This is video number 90, the Teleport Fortify team, and it showcases a summoner spell that hasn't existed for a long time. This one was originally recorded on June 8th, 2011. Enjoy! Hello folks, this is Sula speaking, and you're listening to another video for League of Legends, this one featuring Garen. This is a replay that was sent to me by my friend Atlas, who uses the username Bertrand de Horn for League of Legends. He's playing alongside Terror Incognito, who's playing as Ashe, Seirun, who's playing as Nunu, Cole, who's playing as Swain, and Developed X, who's playing as Janna. Now, the interesting thing about this game was the opponents that they were matched up against. So look at this team that they're faced up against, and look at the summoners that they've chosen to bring. This is an all-tanky DPS team, and everyone is taking Teleport and Fortify as their summoner choices. So we have Xin Zhao, Rammus, Mordekaiser, Blitzcrank, and Shen. So this is going to be very much a contrast in styles between the two teams, between a more traditional looking team on Atlas's side, and then a very bizarre makeup team with all these teleports and fortify and stuff sort of coming in. So it's going to be an interesting game. We'll have to look at how that matchup sort of works back and forth, and we'll get to that in a little bit later on. Okay, so just to answer some questions from that people have asked or things that people have brought up in other videos. One thing I want to point out is if you're watching this, this is on the unofficial replay client for League of Legends. We don't have a real replay client for League of Legends, so that means I have to use this one, and that means wherever the camera is not looking, that means we don't have health bars. There is nothing I can do about this. It's just a feature of the replay client that we have right now, so I can't do anything about it. Yes, I'm aware of it. Yes, I wish that the screen didn't do this, but otherwise, it's either this or nothing right now, guys, so we really don't have any options, and we're just going to have to live with it for the time being, because otherwise I can only cast games that I myself actually played personally, and I couldn't even do this game at all. Anyway, here are the starting items. You can see pretty standard stuff coming in. Right here comes the enemy team. You can see it looks like they've run with 5 over here. Looks like they're coming over to try to steal blue buff. Atlas's Garen was down in bottom lane. He probably should have been over here so that they could have fought. But with him being down there, they really can't fight this, at least until he gets up here. Still on his way coming. But it looks like they want to try to steal this blue buff, is my guess. Now, one of the disadvantages of the Teleport Fortify team, there are many advantages and disadvantages, which I'll talk about as we go through the match, but one thing is notice no smite, so there is no traditional jungler. They don't have a smite to use there. Do have to be very careful about getting grabbed by Blitzcrank here. If Blitzcrank can manage to land a hook with his rocket grab, then that means that a pretty likely death, and it looks like Seirun is going to start with wolves, or at least he's going to consume the big wolf first here with Nunu. Nunu can jungle a lot of different ways. So anyway, blue golem is just about to spawn. Don't know if the enemy team is still here or not. I'm assuming they are, and oh, they're actually going to grab the golem and pull it through the wall. But Seirun, if he times his smite correctly, he should be able to steal this. Looks like he smited just a little bit too early, though, so it looks like the other team got that. You can see no little blue aura around Nunu there, so it looks like he's not going to be able to take that, and the enemy team's going to steal that blue, going to put it on Xin Zhao right there in middle lane. So in terms of laning assignments, looking at how things have formed up, it looks like we have Ashe here in mid against I think Xin Zhao, looked like that's who was there. Up here on top, we're going to have a 2v1 lane because, as I said, this other team does not have a jungler. Looks like it's going to be Mordekaiser and Rammus going up against Cole Swain. Then in the bottom lane, you can see that Shen is down here, and Blitzcrank has just used his teleport to teleport into the lane. So we're going to have Garen and Janna down here, Atlas and Developed X, playing against Shen and Blitzcrank. Now, these lanes are probably not going to stay that way for particularly long. The thing is, when you have all these teleports, one of the advantages is it lets you move between lanes very, very quickly. That is, it can be 2v2 in this lane, and then all of a sudden you get 2 teleports coming in, and then all of a sudden it's a 4v2 in this lane, and the other enemy team can get kills very, very quickly. So that's something that they're going to have to pay very close attention to and try to avoid that. Up here, Cole is being pushed back to his tower. This lane is going to push because it's a 2v1, and Mordekaiser, just due to the way his shield works, is going to push. So Cole is going to be back defending his tower. Right here, though, Seirun going to come in, try to gank middle lane. You can see he's going to toss his snowball at Xin Zhao. Don't think that that's going to turn into anything. So in order to counter this lineup, one thing that they do have on Atlas's team is they have the jungler. They have Seirun's Nunu, who will roam around the map. He can head to different lanes. He can help out to different areas where they need help. So that's going to be where their mobility comes in. And looks like he is going to head over here. Oh, another thing he can do is he can steal the enemy team's jungle. Remember, no jungler on the enemy team, so all of the buffs are free for Nunu to try to go and take them. And Nunu being such a strong jungler, that option's going to be available throughout the game, or at least until the enemy team stops farming lanes. Anyway, going to just try to keep an eye on all the lanes here. Nothing too much going on right now. Generally speaking, want to keep an eye on that jungler. It looks like Seirun is coming in here for a gank in top lane, so let's see what goes on there. The enemy team is very pushed in this lane, so should have some opportunities for ganking here. Here comes Seirun, going to come out here. He's running his blood boil. Looks like was going to go after Mordekaiser. Gets taunted by Rammus, though. Going to miss on that never move, but there's the snowball coming in on Mordekaiser. Here's some clairvoyance vision coming in. Going to get in an ignite on that Mordekaiser, and there he goes. Going to get taken down. Can they manage to finish off Rammus as well? He is getting fairly low, down to 300 or so HP. Does Cole have his never move up again? Doesn't look like he does. Not going to be able to root Rammus to the ground. Oh, there it is. The health bar finally updating, down to 100 HP. But it looks like Rammus was able to slip out of there. So that is going to be first blood up there in top lane. Okay, down here in bottom lane, just still laning with Blitzcrank and Shen against Janna and Garen. Doesn't look like all that much has happened so far. Going back in top lane again, going after Rammus. Are they going to be able to get that kill? No, taken down to 60 HP, but there's the Fortify coming in. Going to use Fortify in order to defend that. Hopefully try to keep him from diving there. Anyway, here Shen has come forward pretty aggressively, and he's in a lot of trouble here. Shen getting very low, developed X also getting quite low. There's an Ignite coming in, and oh, they're going to get killed right there. Let's see, it looked like Xin Zhao teleported to a ward over here in the brush. Looks like that's what he did. Meanwhile, they were able to get that kill on top lane. Seirun was able to get that. Looked like a nice job by the enemy team to finish off the kill on Develop's Janna there. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. 1 kill in bottom lane, 1 kill in top lane. And I think that Mordekaiser teleported up here. Maybe he didn't use his teleport, but he is back to the lane right now. Anyway, as I've said, one of the reasons why you would take all the teleports on this team is the mobility, the ability to switch lanes very quickly. That's sort of what this team is going for. That's the idea. Anyway, Rammus is in mid. Shen coming into mid. Shen doesn't actually have 24 HP. There it goes, updating now. He's gone back to base. He's had a chance to heal. So there we go. Up here in top lane, 1v1, Swain against Mordekaiser, for the moment at least. As I said, these lanes tend to change pretty quickly. Remember, Xin Zhao was in middle lane. Now he's down in bottom lane, and so has switched down there. Looked like he teleported to that ward earlier. Right now, though, Seirun is circling around here, and this is going to be perfect timing because Shin is going in there, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Remember, all all Fortify teleports, so no escapability skills, no Ghost, no Flash. Don't think that Shin's going to be able to get out of this. He has popped his ultimate, but I still don't think he's going to get out. He has no boots, and indeed, they're going to get that kill. So going to score yet another kill right there. Nicely done, and going to score their 3rd kill in the match. Up here in top lane, Cole just still playing defensively, trying to defend against these two. Blitzcrank was still alive there in bottom lane. They were not able to get him. They focused their efforts on Xin Zhao instead. There's the Fortify coming in. You can see Terra was pushing middle lane, so there comes the Fortify. Going to defend that tower, make sure it doesn't take any damage. Now Rammus getting caught over here on the river. If Terra comes over from mid, going to be in a lot of trouble. Remember, again, no escapability skills. Cannot use Ghost to get away. Cannot use Flash. Doesn't have any of those summoners. So there we go. Going to continue to get more damage. Going to try to powerball, but it's not going to be enough, and that's going to be another kill for Atlas's team right here. However, other team is still pushing in top lane, still pushing on this tower. They are going to be slowly wearing down this tower, and that's sort of what they're going for. When you take this summoner lineup, you're going for a push comp. That is, the focus of their team is not going to be on getting kills so much as it is pushing lanes, trying to get towers. That is, anytime that they have the chance to push a lane, they're going to have maybe 1 or 2 people teleport in to try to push down a lane, and then when Atlas's team tries to counter that, tries to push their own towers, in will come the Fortify, and it will protect them from taking damage. So can be a very frustrating team comp to play against. If you do find yourself up against this kind of team comp, you just have to sort of keep your distance, keep cool, and there it looks like that was an arrow. Going up there to top lanes, looks like he was able to arrow top, so unfortunately wasn't able to catch that. Looks like an arrow in top lane against that Shen player, so nicely done there. Meanwhile, another gank coming in on Mordekaiser here. Looks like they're going to dive the tower here, so we're going to pop his ultimate, and they are going to get that kill, so another double kill up there in top lane. Doing a nice job so far. Anyway, in terms of trying to defend... Oh, and one other thing is here comes Xin Zhao. He's coming up the top lane, but have a ward, going to be able to get out of there. Going to be able to avoid that one. Now, a couple different things if you would find yourself playing against a team comp like this, if you would be up against a pre-made team that was running this kind of strategy. One thing you want to do is you want to try to maintain your lanes as much as possible. They're going to be teleporting all over the map. They're going to be switching lanes all over the place. But one of the best ways to counter that is stay in your lanes. You don't have as much mobility as the enemy team does. Like, you're not going to be able to move around as quickly as they do, so you don't want to get sucked into that sort of gameplay. By staying in your lanes and just trying to maintain them, just stay in your lanes, farm them as much as possible. If they start bringing in extra champs to other lanes, the jungler is the one who really has to be on top of this. The jungler has to pay attention, has to move to lanes. Part of doing this also means that you have to be very good at warding. For instance, they had the ward there that protected them from the Xin Zhao gank a minute ago. Anyway, Xin is now going in on Cole, but looks like he's going to be okay. Looks like he's going to slip out. There is another champ up here. Saw the vision just a second ago. Seirun going in here. It looks like it's Mordekaiser going to go in and fight that battle. Cole's still a little low from that last fight, though, so this might not be the best idea. Here comes Shen in, using Shen ultimate to come in here. So now it's a 3-on-2. There's the Mordekaiser, Children of the Grave ultimate. Is that going to be enough to finish off Cole? No, looks like he's going to survive just barely, I think. Looks like he's going to survive, but there are 3 champs up here on top now, so they're going to be able to push on this tower, and that could be some trouble. So again, warding, very key. It allows you to see when they move between lanes. This is kind of a ganking team comp too. The more vision you have on watching the enemy team as they move between lanes, the better it is. It gives your jungler more chances to go to where they're needed. This is turning into almost a 2v2 lane in top. Seirun's having to stick up here to help out Cole, but that's okay. If that's what you need to do, then that's what you should be doing in the game right now. Still well ahead in kills right now. What they need to do for on Atlas's team is just keep farming these lanes. Don't worry. Don't get too flustered. I mean, you're not going to be able to do a lot of damage to these towers early on. Anytime you get close, they're just going to pop a fortify or burn a teleport or something like that. So can't get too frustrated. You're not going to be able to do a lot of damage early in the game to these towers. Just not much going to happen. Instead, just concentrating on farming, trying to stay in the game as long as possible. The longer that Atlas's team can keep these towers up, the longer they can prevent these towers from being pushed over, the better their situation is going to be. Just because the enemy team's comp is all based on pushing, as I said, they're not nearly going to be as good as team fighting. Anyway, an engagement coming in here. Atlas's Garen taking a lot of damage. You can see the Fortify was popped there to deal extra damage from the tower. Right there, developed though, going to use that Janna ult, going to push back, going to get in some heal on Garen, and so that's going to help out there. Anyway, Cole, Seirun still pushing in this top lane. Or it looks like they're going to go in. I'm sure that another Fortify will be coming in here on this tower any second now. Nope, not there it is. There comes the Fortify. Anyway, looks like they're diving after this Mordekaiser player. Again, wish we knew how much life he actually had. I'm not sure how close he is to dying. I don't really know, or how much shield he has. But I guess we'll see. Looks like they're playing very aggressively up here on top, so I'm guessing he's pretty close to dead. One thing that's going well for Atlas's team, though, is Terror is getting pretty farmed here in mid. Rammus can't really lane against Ashe, so he's more or less just free farming there in mid. Anyway, continuing to press up here in this top lane. Oh, meanwhile, kill coming in bottom lane. Unable to see that one. They were able to get a kill on that Shen player. Anyway, looks like they're going to go in for the dive in here. There's the never move root on that Mordekaiser. There's the ultimate coming in from Nunu. So that is going to go down, but unfortunately, Mordekaiser ultimate going to finish off Nunu. And now Xin Zhao has double buff. He's going after Cole. Don't think Cole can get away. Cole still has no boots. He has Philosopher's Stone, no boots. Xin Zhao, level 2 boots, does have his Merc Treads. So that's going to be a double kill in top lane. And that's really the first big mistake that Atlas's team has made in the game. They got a little too over-aggressive. If you saw, they were really diving to try to kill Mordekaiser on that tower. And that's bad because it's going to allow the enemy team to push on this tower, which is exactly what their team comp wants. You can see here comes the teleport, going to bring in another champ, going to bring in Mordekaiser here. And are they going to have another champ teleport in? I guess not. I guess it was just the graphical effect. So going to have another champ teleport in. Meanwhile, Terror would be getting in some push on this tower, but I expect that they'll use another Fortify to defend this. Yep, there it is. There's the Fortify. There's the teleport. So anyway, Seirun going to come up here, try to defend this, but going to be too late. And the other team is going to get their first tower of the match. So one thing that you can't do in a situation like this, if you're playing against a team like this, you can't afford ever to have a lane uncovered, because if you do, they're going to burn teleports, bring extra champs in, and start to push it over. Anyway, Seirun in a lot of trouble there, but he is going to use his flash. He does have level 2 boots, has cooldown boots, so he's probably okay to get out of this. And yes, looks like he's going to make it out on 300 HP. So in a lot of trouble there, but fortunately had flash up, was able to survive. One of those situations where without flash, you're just dead, but flash saves you from a lot of mistakes. Anyway, Mordekaiser is now coming over to mid, joining up with Rammus. I guess they're going to start pushing on this lane here. Xin Zhao still hanging around by the blue buff in the jungle. Doesn't look like all that much going on there though. Anyway, bottom lane hasn't seen quite as much action. They did get some kills in here. The Develop did get killed earlier. Atlas has picked up a kill and an assist, so looks like they're doing reasonably well there. In terms of Atlas's Garen build, you can see he's stacking gold per 5 items, has the double heart of gold. Anyway, dive coming in on the tower right here. Terror doing a nice job to flash out of that. Here comes the Shen ult as well. Serum going to get off a Nunu ult. Can he get off the full channel? Maybe not the full channel, but he did get off a lot of damage. Rammus down to like 10 HP. Atlas trying to go in to finish him off. Mordekaiser's on like one more hit as well. Get it down to 32 HP, and there it is. Going to finish him off with that judgment. Going to spin to win there. Now Rammus also very, very low. Are they going to be able to chase him down here? There's the Clairvoyance giving extra vision. Going to use his Demacian Justice. It looked like he used that while Rammus was in defensive wall curl. Probably needed to wait just one more second for that defensive wall curl to come off. Then would have gotten the kill. But still able to get several kills there. Seirun's Nunu was taken out, but everybody else on the team survived, so I think that was a 3-for-1, not 100% sure. The very nice play initially by Terror Incognita to flash away from the team fight. Anyway, Blitzcrank in a little bit of trouble here. Meanwhile, Cole has caught him in a never move, and there's an Ash Arrow, and in comes the Ignite. Are they going to be able to finish him off? Yes, going to get that kill, so nicely done there. Nice combo play between the Swain root to the ground with never move into an Ash Arrow, so well done there. Terror getting a lot of farm. You can see he has Doran's Blade, Boots of Speed, a BF Sword, and a Pickaxe. So getting pretty strong here. And again, a consequence of just laning against Rammus. As I said, Rammus really can't lane one-on-one with Ashe. So that's a pretty good situation for Ashe to be in. Anyway, developed in a lot of trouble here. He was caught in a bad situation, but he used his ult and then flashed out. Was able to get away from that. Was in a situation where it looked like he was going to die, but did manage to survive. And again, just difficult to catch a Janna who has flash up and who has been putting points in her Zephyr skill. Elsewhere on the map right now, Cole is pushing in top lane. Cole does have blue buff. That's what they want. Want to get that blue buff on Swain in order so that he can keep running his ultimate. So going to push that top lane. Are we going to see that there's the Fortify coming in to prevent any damage from being done to that tower? Are we going to get a teleport in? No, Mordekaiser going to come in here. So going to prevent more damage from being done to that. And again, another example of how it can be very frustrating to play against this team comp. Anyway, in mid, Seirun coming in, going to snowball against Rammus. Rammus going to fail on the Powerball, going to Powerball into a minion right here. And there's another arrow coming in from Ashe, and that is going to be enough to score a kill. Another Fortify, another Teleport, more champions coming in to defend mid, but they are going to score a kill there. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, looked like they were chasing down here. Going to dodge that Blitzcrank grab. Atlas doing a good job. Somehow picked up blue buff. He probably killed somebody on the enemy team who had blue buff. I think that's how he likely got it. Anyway, going to defend this, and with Janna Tornado, Janna Shield on the tower, looks like they're going to be able to hold this without too much trouble. Anyway, Xin Zhao coming up here, and remember what I said about the importance of warding earlier? It's going to be pinged by the team, and they're going to just going to slip right out of here. So, again, against a team comp like this that's based on teleports, based on ganking, moving around lanes, people switching very frequently, if you've noticed, the enemy team really doesn't have a traditional solo. They don't really have a traditional AD carry or an AP carry. They more just have people running around lanes. There's not really any solos, not really any duo lanes. By having those wards down, you're able to see when they're coming. It makes it a lot easier to defend against this kind of stuff. Anyway, Shen taking some harass in mid, but doesn't look like he's going to get killed. There's another ward going down right there. So nice job there. And Terror says he's going back to get his Infinity Edge, but doesn't look like he's going to, because in comes Xin Zhao doing a lot of damage. There's the Shen ult coming in, giving him that damage shield. Let's continue to focus on this fight. Looks like they're going to be able to get out of this. That Blood Boil on Ashe is doing a whole lot of damage, even though Terror doesn't have his Infinity Edge quite yet, but still in a pretty strong position, still doing quite well in this game overall. In terms of looking at items and some of the other champs, you can see that Cole has double Philosopher's Stone and Catalyst, so he has a huge amount of mana regen, but he doesn't have any actual ability power yet, so probably needs to start building that next. You can see Atlas is building pretty much straight tank, Mercury Treads, got a Giant's Belt, which on Garen has to be for a Sunfire Cape. I'm sure that that's building towards a Sunfire Cape. And then double Heart of Golds for the gold per 5 benefit. So looks pretty standard. They're just building tanky. Seirun has got finished Rod of Ages and cooldown boots. Looks pretty solid there. And then just to take a quick look at developed, has a Catalyst and then Boots of Speed. A little interesting. I don't normally build Catalyst on Janna, but you can make it work. You can build Rod of Ages on her. It's not the worst. It's not the way I would itemize her, but it's something you can do. Anyway, Rammus getting caught a little behind the rest of the team here, trying to engage on him, but it is Rammus after all. You don't really want to blow all your cooldowns on Rammus, so it looks like they are going to kill Rammus. There's an Ignite on him. It looks like it's going to get the kill. There it is. However, the rest of the team taking a whole lot of damage here. Terror getting caught behind the rest of the enemy team, and he's going to flash. Can he manage to get out of this? No, not going to manage to get out of this, and that's going to create a little Mordekaiser Ghosty. Now Cole coming in here, engaging on the rest of the team, but it is a 3-on-1 here with that Ash Ghost, and Cole going to end up having to flash out of that. So with the Ghost from Terror's Ash, they are going to push on this tower, and are they going to be able to finish this off? Nice Nevermoot root by Swain coming in there. Can they finish off that Mordekaiser? Yes, and that's going to cause the Terra Incognita Ghost to disappear. So that's a pretty significant kill, and looks like it is going to be able to get them to hold this tower. Unfortunately, Cole was taken down there, did go down in that fight, but for the moment they've managed to hold this tower. And now can Shen get out of this? Shen taking a lot of damage. He's being slowed with that snowball, but he's going to dash back to the tower. Looks like he's going to be okay. So a lot of action coming in there mid, a lot going on. Looks like Atlas's team was able to hold on to middle lane, so that's pretty helpful for them. Again, when you're up against a pushing comp team like this, it's very important that you try to protect your towers for as much as possible, just because time is generally on your side in this game. Now remember, if they have all teleports and fortifies, that means, as I've said before, no ghosts, no flash, so no escapability, no movement in team fights. They also don't have any disables. That is, they have no exhaust, they have no ignite, so no ability, no way to disable the other team in team fights. So team fighting not really to this team's strength. Remember also, no real AD carry, no real traditional AP carry, just a whole bunch of tanks. So again, team fighting not really the enemy team's strength. Team fighting much more on the side of Atlas's team. Anyway, there's a new ult coming in, gonna get canceled. Sirun managing to make it out just in time. Sirun wants to survive. He does have that Oracle on him. Important to try to preserve that. Rammus is on one hit, but Shin is now initiating on Terror. Is Terror gonna be able to survive this when he has been blood boiled? Looks like he is gonna manage to get out on very low HP. Now Shin going back in again. He's gonna get taken down by Atlas. Here comes the Children of the Grave ultimate, but I think Atlas is going to be okay. He is taking damage, but he still has 300 health left. So a nice defense of that tower, but unfortunately Mordekaiser is still alive, and looks like they are going to have to give this one up, and the other team is going to take this. So even though Atlas's team, I think, fought that very nicely, they did still lose a tower there. And that just reflects the, like I said, the nature of what the other team wants to do. They want to teleport in. They want to use Fortify to defend lanes that they're not covering. So just need to do the best they can to protect these lanes and prevent these towers from getting pushed over. As I was saying before, time is generally on their side. The enemy team with Fortify is not going to be good at team fighting because they don't have the summoners for it. Remember, they also don't have Smite, so they can't really control Baron. They can't really control Dragon. If there's a big fight over Baron, that means that Seirun will have a chance to steal it with his Smite. Now, he failed on the Smite, unfortunately, right at the beginning of the game when they came and went for that blue. He actually could have taken should have been able to smite that column, but apparently just missed that smite. But that's still something that he can use later on at Baron if there's a big Baron fight. Also Dragon, if they turn out to have a Dragon fight, can steal that as well with smite. They also don't have Clairvoyance, so the fact that Developed has this Clairvoyance could be very, very helpful in giving vision later on. So, again, advantages and disadvantages. This strat can work really well. It's much more effective against a team that's not organized. The more organized a team is, the less likely it is to succeed. But it's not the worst thing in the world. It can be successful. Anyway, Cole has picked up blue once again, and Cole has now picked up the Sorcerer's Shoes. Still doesn't have any ability power, though, just 23. I guess that's from, he probably has AP per level runes, I would think, just because otherwise I don't see how he gets to that. Anyway, Shin's out teleporting into mid. Here we go. You can see Terror and Seirun were pushing that tower, but in comes the teleport, and looks like they're going to have to be forced back. Anyway, another little bit of an engage coming in over here, but looks like everybody backed off. More action going on in mid right now. Every time they try to push this tower, the result is that teleports and fortify come in, so they really haven't made any progress on here. But that's just the nature of the game. You can't get too frustrated when that happens against a team like this. As I said, time generally on your side. You want to keep the match going, so the longer the game goes on, the less valuable those fortifies are, just because early in the game, fortify is super strong. Like, you are not going to be able to take down a tower. once that Fortify comes in. At the end of the game, towers go down very quickly, so Fortify not nearly as helpful in saving towers. So again, just need to prolong this game, get the enemy team to waste those teleports and fortifies, or force them to use it. Maybe not waste is the correct word, but force them to use it, and just try to draw them into a team fight where they don't have the advantage, and then burn through their fortifies after that. In any case, just a little harassment going on back and forth here. Saroon taking some shots on the tower, doing some damage back to Rammus in the meantime. Atlas laying down here against this Mordekaiser player. You can see Mordekaiser building some ability power, has the spell vamp, has the sorcerer's shoes. Pretty tanky on both sides here, so not really sure which side's going to come out on top. Looks like Mordekaiser is a little bit stronger right now, so Atlas probably not going to go for that. Anyway, Saroon running right past a ward over there. Looks like he didn't see it or was looking at bottom lane. Dragon is down. Looks like the Teleport Fortify team took that dragon earlier. So when that dragon next spawns, or it would expect it to be a fight, but the fact that this team that's focusing on pushing and getting global gold that way, it took another global gold benefit in that dragon. Not the greatest sign in the world. Anyway, we have more teleports coming in down here. We saw that Shen came in, Xin Zhao hanging around. They do have vision, so it looks like it's going to be a 3-on-3 down here in bottom lane at the moment right now. So probably not the best engage with Cole and Terra, the two carries in mid. Probably not a fight that they really want to pick down here. Also because there's always the chance for someone to go top. Yeah, you can see Cole going to head back top, going to keep farming. Terra going to come down here. As soon as Terra gets here, they really can go in and fight, though, as then it will be a 4-on-4. And with Terra being pretty strong, yeah, he already has Infinity Edge and Berserker Greaves, and of course can get Blood Boiled by Nunu. With all that, going to be pretty strong. They can look to engage here. Maybe if they can hit an Ash Arrow or something, can look to try to fight and engage on this. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, Shin coming in there, gonna engage on Atlas's Garen, a little funny. So this is a straight 4-on-4. Terra gonna flash to the back of the fight, trying to stay in the back. Unfortunately, he is firing at Rammus. Saroon, can he get off the full channel Nunu? No, not able to get off that Nunu ult. It was taunted right in the middle of it. Develop getting off a nice Janna ult here, though. Gonna be able to get in a lot of healing. Anyway, they need to focus down that Xin Zhao. He does the most damage. So this fight going pretty well right now. Atlas is nearly dead. Oh, going to be finished off by that Mordekaiser ultimate, which is very bad because now there's going to be the little Atlas ghosty running around, and that means that this is probably going to be bad news. Saroon taking a lot of damage here. So after that fight went so well in the early portions, now not nearly so good. Saroon needs to try to stay alive to keep his Oracle up. Is he going to be able to do that? Well, looks like he made it back to the tower at least. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Cole getting a kill on that Blitzcrank player, so that's a nice little benefit. Overall, though, they went 3 for 2 in bottom lane, so they did come out ahead. But I feel like they could have done. The turning point in that fight was probably the 2 points in time. First of all, when Saroon wasn't able to get his Nunu ult off, he was taunted by Rammus right before he could get it off. Oh, and they actually managed to get a turret in top lane. Nice. First of all, when Saroon wasn't able to get Nunu ult off in top lane, or down here in the bottom fight as he got taunted. And then secondly, when Mordekaiser got the Garen little ghost off of his ultimate, that really helped swing the fight. And Saroon just did a really nice job there of protecting this tower. If you noticed, he had that Oracle. He was on 200 to 300 HP, but just doing a great job of protecting this tower, keeping it up, keeping it alive for as long as possible, and not dying to keep that Oracle up so that he can still clear wards by the enemy team. So very nice job down here, and yes, they did actually get a turret in top lane. Finally, after burning through all those fortifies, they did manage to get one tower. So that's going to help. Anyway, the two biggest factors in the match right now are the fact that Atlas's team has only lost 2 towers. They've only lost 2 towers in 26 minutes. That's really good against a team comp like this, which is all based on pushing. The other big advantage is that Ashe is starting to get really farmed and really fed. So if you look at the items on Ashe, let's see, Terra Incognita, yeah, it has Infinity Edge, Zeal, Berserker Greaves, and has almost finished a Phantom Dancer. All that in 27 minutes. So that's a really good position to be. You can see Ashe does have the most minion kills in the game by a large margin. So the longer this game goes on, the fact that they have a true attack damage carry, while the Fortify Teleport team really doesn't have a true attack damage carry. That's gonna help them out a lot. Anyway, in comes Blitzcrank, teleporting down here, teleporting to the minion. So gonna bring more champs over. You can see pinging that Xin Zhao is coming over as well. Gonna ping that. They do have Shen up here in top lane, but of course Shen can ult or teleport in. And Atlas gonna go in and engage here on this Xin Zhao. I'm not sure about that. In comes Shen. So it's going to be another champ, and right now it's going to be a 5-on-3, so this is a really bad fight. They have to stay out of this, have to avoid this engage. Yeah, probably should not have picked that fight. Develop going down right away. Atlas's Garen just needs to get out of here if possible. Terror is not going to make it out of here either, so he is also going to get taken down. and that turned into a really bad fight in a hurry. So that is exactly the sort of fight that they wanted to avoid. Again, the other team using their teleports, using their global ultimates to turn this into an uneven fight, doing a really nice job of that. And now they're just going to pull 5 champs down here in bottom lane and take this tower. So not much you can do at this point. You just need to try to avoid fights like that. There's the Fortify, but Seroon forcing them to use the Fortify. Here comes another teleport. Don't think that was really necessary, but at least they got the other team to use some of their teleports, some of their Fortifies. Anyway, now they're going for Dragon, but remember, they still don't have a Smite, so they need to be very careful that Seroon doesn't slip in here and steal this. Looks like he's going to try to come in here. Let's see if we can get the health on the Dragon there. Let's see, there it is. 1,200 health, 1,000 health, and right there, gonna take that Dragon, so going to steal it. Very nicely done on the Dragon steal. And again, that's why you take Smite, why it's such a good idea to have a jungler in the game. If you don't have Smite, then the enemy team can Smite steal the neutral buffs. And Seroon did a very nice job of that on there. Just slipping in, blood boiled as Nunu with the extra movement speed, slip in there, use the Smite, and take that Dragon away. So overall, well done. Once again, you can see Atlas's team well ahead in kills, 21-10. So they are ahead in kills, but I'm not sure I would say they're really that far ahead. It feels like an even match to me, just because they do have the 3 towers down for the enemy team. And on their side, the kills don't even really matter so much as the map positioning. Anyway, Rammus here getting engaged on by 3 members of the enemy team, getting slowed by Ashe, and that's going to be enough to finish him off. There is a Fortify coming in. Seroon taking a lot of damage, but he can consume some of those minions to heal himself back up again. Anyway, right now, they're doing a good job. They're drawing the enemy team into a team fight, which is exactly what they want to do. It's a 4-on-3. Or 4-on-2, excuse me, going to win that fight. Now in comes Mordekaiser. They still have the numbers advantage. Shin engaging on Ashe. Ashe needs to get to the back, but Terror, his positioning is so good, staying in the back, managing to stay alive, continuing to deal damage to the enemy team. Just really well done here. Terror needs to stay alive in this fight. He's doing most of the damage for their team and just doing a great job of protecting himself here. Going to allow them to get that kill on Blitzcrank. Cole going to finish him off with the ultimate. And now they managed to catch Mordekaiser in another ultimate. Are they going to be able to get another kill here? He is getting slowed by that laser bird from Swain. No, not going to get that, but Developed, who wasn't even in the fight, was able to take down bottom tower. So good stuff going on all over the place. Again, I really think the key to that fight was the fact that Terror Incognito was able to stay alive. He used his flash to get in the back, was able to keep Shin from bursting him down, and that was really key because if you just look at the items on Terror, you can see now he's got Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, just doing so much damage in this fight. Anyway, people teleporting back into mid. More teleports coming in from the enemy team. Going to head back to this lane, and looks like they really want to continue pushing mid. There's also a big creep wave pushing in top lane, so Atlas's team going to have to deal with that. But on the other hand, because Develop pushed over that bottom lane tower, there's now a big creep wave pushing down here as well. So it looks like Shin is going to head and deal with that for the enemy team. Anyway, a lot going on in this game. I feel like I've missed stuff, but there's just been so many different things going on all over the map. I've been just trying to follow it as best I can. Atlas still continuing with his straight tank build. It looks like they're considering going for Baron next. You can see Seroon has picked up Oracle, or I guess he still had the Oracle, but I think he actually did get killed in that last team fight. Not 100% sure, but I think he was killed in that last team fight. So anyway, in any case, does still have Oracle. Was over there by Baron, was clearing and making sure there were no wards over there, and there were not. Anyway, engaging on this Mordekaiser here right now, taking a fair amount of harassment, but he does have his shield, he is pretty tanky, and he is level 17 with that Force of Nature, so does have a whole lot of magic resistance there to work with. Anyway, elsewhere, Rammus hanging out over here, Blitzcrank in top lane. Let's see, Terror has finished the core part of his build, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer. Oh, going to engage right there on Chinzao. Looks like they're going to try to pick him off first. They're going to go in, and there is the Shen ult coming in. Going after Rammus now, I think, is the lowest. Develop is very low, and there he's going to get off a nice ult, going to heal himself back up. Survived on very low HP there. Now continuing to deal damage, but unfortunately Terror's Ashe is going to go down, and that's very bad news for this team. Remember, Terror Incognito doing most of the damage, and even worse, they're now actually going to have the little Ashe Ghosty, who of course will be dishing out a ton of damage. So that fight looked like it was going pretty well initially, but unfortunately did not go well in the end. Rammus is just going to straight die here, though, to the tower. That's a little bit silly. So anyway, they are going to lose that tower, and unfortunately, Atlas is the only one still alive. So this is really bad. If they get this inhibitor, then it's going to put them well behind the 8 ball. Anyway, Atlas going in. He's going to engage on Shinzao, and yes, actually is going to get the kill on Shin, and getting that Mordekaiser very low. Is he going to be able to finish him off or just maybe make it out of here? Doesn't have flash up, and no, doesn't look like he's going to make it out. So there's the kill. Going to be an ace. But he did a lot of damage, was still able to go 1 for 1. You can see Blitz taking a lot of damage, now Shen taking a lot of damage, and people on the team are going to revive. So Atlas successfully managed to defend that tower. And that was a really nice play. To go 1 for 1 and protect this tower was really a huge deal. That had disaster written all over it. Anyway, what the Teleport Fortify team probably should have done was just gone and Baron there. It was a free Baron for them to take. There was no way that Atlas could have stopped that. You know, they could have pushed over this initial tower, and then instead of trying to dive this base tower here, they could have just gone to Baron and done that and taken it, and that would have put them really far ahead. Now, holding the inhibitor is really key because, again, a team with all these teleports, if you take down an inhibitor, all the lanes are going to start to push, and as soon as the lanes are pushed, that gives the teleport team just so much mobility to work with. That is, let's say all 3 lanes are pushing, they can just pick a spot and teleport all 5 into one lane, push over the tower, and then go back, retreat, and then go do it again somewhere else on the map. So once inhibs start going down, it becomes almost impossible to come back against a team with that kind of teleport mobility. So they really need to keep these inhibs up, if at all possible. They really need to defend these. Anyway, right now, just taking neutral buffs. You can see they grabbed the blue buff for Cole again. Cole now has grabbed some AP. He does have Rod of Ages, and now he's building towards Death Cap. Doesn't have it yet, but looks like he's going to be building towards it. And right there, checking to see if there's wards at Baron. Seirun does not have an Oracle. 800 gold down the drain from dying twice. So, oh well, that's a shame. But in any case, they do have a ward at Baron, at least for some sight. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Shen is pushing bottom lane, so it looks like they're going to send Atlas to go deal with it. A little dangerous because if the enemy team forces a Baron fight, then he's not going to be there. And now Terror getting caught behind the enemy team. This is really bad news. Can he manage to get out of this? With Rammus there, I can't imagine him making it out. So that is really bad. Going to take down Terror once again and score that other kill. Again, remember, Terror doing most of the damage for this team. It's going to be down for 50 seconds. And right now, their team is clear to go take this Baron if they want it. It's the obvious play to make here. They're all running right next to Baron. All they have to do is take it, and it's going to be an easy Baron for them. But it looks like they're going to back off and not go for it. At least not right now. They're heading back to mid. So not sure why they would do that. I mean, you can see Atlas is even down here in bottom lane. Atlas can't even get to Baron in time, so that would be a straight 5-on-3 with the main DPS not being there. But looks like they're not going to go for it. I guess they're going for Dragon instead. It just feels like a very, very inferior play to make there. So that's now 2 chances that the other team has had to go for Baron, which would really help snowball the game in their favor. Remember, they are still down in kills by quite a bit, so taking Baron would help. Anyway, looks like they're coming back from Dragon, and right now Seirun developed in just a ton of trouble here. They've got people all around them. For some reason, everyone ignoring Seirun, just going to absolutely walk out of there. Meanwhile, Develop's going to juke that hook and dodge it. Still a dangerous situation here, but now they're going in with Atlas and Cole. And once Terror gets up here, this could turn into a pretty good engage. They're fighting in closed quarters here. Let's see, nice Ash Arrow coming in, and let's see if Seirun can get off a nice channel on that Nunu ult. Let's see, gonna get most of the duration, doing a lot of damage. And right now, this fight is just going so well. Now Shin has been trapped in the middle of the team, and even with all his damage, they're going to take him down. So gonna go 3 for 0 in that engagement. A fight that just looked like a terrible engagement initially, but we're able to come out on top there because the enemy team just split up and started chasing in all directions for some reason. So a complete reversal there, and now it's Atlas's team that's going to go for Baron, making the smart play here, going to go for this, and there it is. Seirun going to use that smite and grab Baron, so nicely done, and they have just completely flipped around this game here. Where it looked like just maybe 2 or 3 minutes ago, like they were going to be just teleported out of the game, now they're in a really strong position. 3 more kills on the enemy team, a Baron to work with, more gold for everybody, more levels for everyone. You can see 18, 18, 18, 17, 17. Well, about even with the enemy team. I guess they have a slight leveling advantage over the other team. It also is helping them catch up and farm. You can see the other team has actually farmed pretty well in this game overall, whereas on their team, Terror has done a good job, Cole's done a good job, but the others are a little bit behind by virtue of being in the duo lane. I think one thing that teleporting all over the map does is it does give you a little bit of extra farm just because everybody is always farming all the lanes at all points in time. So I guess that's a slight point in their favor. Anyway, another key to the fight here was the fact that they're fighting in enclosed spaces. The team that Atlas is on has a lot of area of effect damage. I mean, the Nunu ult is an obvious example, but the Swain ultimate also deals area of effect damage. They have the AoE heal with Janna. They have Garen spinning his judgment. And of course, the Ash Crystal Arrow, of course, does have a slight slash area of effect as well. So if they can force this enemy team to team fight, which is not the strength of their team comp, remember, force them to team fight, draw them into enclosed areas, and force a fight there, that's when things are going to go their way. And you saw that in action over here. Where the enemy team excels is, as I said, pushing lanes, in being able to pick people off. They have a team that's very good at being able to score picks, just because they can teleport extra people into a lane and suddenly turn like a 2-on-2 into a 4-on-2. So right here, if they can forcing a team fight right outside this tower, a good place to fight. These first level towers are not that strong at this point in time in the game. The towers do get stronger as you get closer to the base. So a first level tower, not the worst place to pick a fight. Not going to be all that great. Again, they have Baron on Atlas's team. They have a lot of area of effect damage. If they can force an engagement here, they should be in pretty good shape. And right there, it looks like we're going to get the engagement here. So there comes the Fortify. Nunu Oak coming in and going to get off a nice channel. Most of the channel duration there. Doing a lot of damage there. Looks like they're going to take down Rammus. There we go. Developed actually going to get the kill. Cole taking a lot of damage, but with his ultimate, he will be able to kill that up. And right there, going to score another kill on Shin Zhao. Shin is doing the most damage on the enemy team here. So taking a lot of damage from this tower, but still staying alive. A perfect Janna ult, perfectly timed, going to heal everybody up. And can Atlas manage to get away from this tower? Yes, just barely going to make it out. Just barely going to survive. So that, another Fortify coming in. That's 3 Fortifies on that tower, but they are going to take that one, and they are going to survive there. So just an example of the kind of fight that they wanted to do. One thing that the enemy team could have done is, you notice how this lane's pushing? Instead of trying to fight at that tower, they could have had 2 or 3 people teleport down here and just try to push over that tower. That is, sort of fight an asymmetrical battle, if that makes sense to those of you. That is not fighting on the terms that your enemy team wants. A straight up team fight is exactly what Atlas's team wants, and they were able to force that there, and that's a large reason why they came out on top. Look at how much damage Terra is doing. Look how fast he's attacking here with his Blood Boil, with his Phantom Dancer, with his Last Whisper. He's getting a BF sword towards either a Black Cleaver or a Bloodthirster, probably a Bloodthirster, so he is just super farmed at this point. 316 damage, and he can even have Janna pop a shield on him for an extra 50 damage on top of that in the team fight. So as long as Terra stays alive in these fights, he's just going to be doing absolutely incredible damage to the rest of the team. Anyway, pushing back lanes right now, a smart decision. Their Baron is going to run out, but they got a lot of value out of that Baron. We're able to get 2 towers mid and 3 or 4 kills on the enemy team. Also got some more Fortifies down, so that was good. Meanwhile, in terms of itemization, Cole, finishing his death cap, has picked up another Blasting Wand. He does have the Elisa's Miracle for some tenacity. In terms of the rest of the team, Seirun, Banshee's Veil, Rod of Ages, looks like he's building... I'm not exactly sure what he's building there. Probably Randuin's, I think. Believe that that's what that builds in. Atlas's Bertrand de Horn, building straight tank, has the Force of Nature, has the Sunfire Cape, has Aegis of the Legion, a nice team aura, and then he still has the 2 gold per 5 aura. So very tanky, 186 armor, 237 magic resist, and then develops Janna. Has a very strange build here, I have to say. Boots of Swiftness on Janna, that makes sense. But then the Rod of Ages, Blasting Wand, Needlessly Large Rod, Mejai's Soul Stealer with 7 stacks. A bit of a strange build, just straight AP on Janna, no support whatsoever. And, I mean, it can work out. We've seen it seems to be working okay in this game. It's just not sort of a traditional way to build Janna, that's all. But it seems to be working out. If he can stay alive in these fights and keep the Mejai stacks up, it does mean that his heals are going to heal for a whole lot in these battles. Anyway, everyone is 18 now, fully leveled up. Looks like they're trying to force a battle here in mid. Again, team fighting, as I've said, is a strength for them. Are they going to be... Oh, they're going to be able to catch on the Never Move route on that Shen. Are they going to be able to finish him off? No, he is going to be able to dash out. Terror taking a lot of damage here, and that is not a good sign. Remember, Terror doing most of the damage for this team. He is going to slip back here. Going to score the kill on Mordekaiser, but still going to get taken down. Meanwhile, Atlas chasing after Rammus, going to finish him off with that Demacian Justice. Going to get the execution in here. Shin Zhao doing a lot of damage here. Saw Randuin's slow coming in. Shen teleporting back into the fight, using his ultimate. Seirun now taking a lot of damage. Is he going to be able to survive? Janna's shield going to keep him alive there. Otherwise, the tower shot would have finished him off. Cole, though, in a lot of danger here. Is Cole going to be able to survive this? There, he's going to turn on his ult, but no, not going to be enough. Not able to lifesteal enough health. And they really just need to back out of this fight right now because everybody is getting very low. Atlas doing a lot of damage to Shin, though. Anyway, oh, and Blitzcrank is over pursued, so they are going to manage to finish him off. Probably just need to get out of this, though. And looks like they're going to back here. So, a bit of an inconclusive team fight. They did okay. It looks like they went 3 for 2, so they did come out ahead. 3 for 2 is not bad. But the key to that fight was, again, Terra Incognita going down early on. You can see his just insane, he's so super farmed at this point. When he dies, most of their DPS is taken out of the fight. Anyway, minions pushing in bottom lane. But in comes the teleport. Xin Zhao gonna come in, gonna get some more farm. You can see Xin is doing most of the... I guess Shin's not doing that much damage. He's built more or less straight tank too, but I think he still does more damage than the rest of the team. Does have Frozen Mallet, Hex Drinker, so he doesn't really have much in the way of items that add to attack damage. This is really just like a straight tanky DPS team. You can see everyone just building tank. Mordekaiser getting some AP, and Blitz getting mana immune. But other than that, it's pretty much just pure damage, pure tankiness on everybody on their team. So that might be one of the issues, just not building tanky enough. Anyway, Develop was over there. Looks like he stole their blue buff and then managed to slip out of there. So nicely done, just taking away the buffs from the enemy team. If I had to say right now, I think that they are more or less just waiting for Baron to respawn. It should be up any second now. You can see Seirun has picked up another Oracle, and there it is. Baron has just respawned. Going to check to see if there's any wards, and if there's no wards there, they're going to have everybody in the team run and go do Baron. And at the very least, they can force a team fight. Even if the enemy team... If the enemy team comes out to challenge, then they'll force a team fight, which, as I've said, is to their advantage. If they don't come out, then they'll have a good chance of getting Baron, and they shouldn't lose the Baron as long as Seirun has that smite. But doesn't look like the enemy team was even aware of that. They have 2 down in bottom lane, so not paying attention to Baron at all, and Atlas's team is going to score that without trouble. Alright, Shen now getting caught behind the team. Shen in a lot of trouble here. If they can just land some kind of stun, should be able to finish him, but nope, going to be able to dodge out of this. And right there, oh, going to use some kind of disable. I don't even know which one to knock Shen out of his ultimate. Shen trying to ult to a teammate, not going to be able to do that. So that is huge. Shen is now going to be dead for, well, I can't read it because the Stark's Fervor icon is over the death timer there, but going to be down for a good 40 to 50 seconds, I'd have to say, because he is level 18. So that's going to give them a real advantage here. They're going to be able to play 5v4, and they also have Baron here. So if they can force the enemy team into a team fight here, this should be good. Looks like Seirun is going to push back this minion wave. Again, the other team could, if they wanted to, they could teleport down here to bottom lane, so they have to be careful about the back door. So I'm assuming that's why he's going there. Looks like Seirun is leaving, though. I guess they're just going to straight team fight instead of, and just not care about the back dooring, I guess. I guess that's the plan. Anyway, Nunu does move really fast, so he'll be here pretty quickly. In the meantime, they're going to poke at this tower. They really need to get Ashe poking at this tower, if at all possible. Of course, they have to do that and also keep Terra alive. So anyway, in comes Seirun. Shen's still not back up yet, so it looks like they're going to force a fight here. Just going to go right in and dive. I guess not going to go for something more complicated. Going to go in and dive. Going to initiate, and Xin Zhao going down very, very quickly, so that's a good sign. There's the Nunu ult going off. Going to deal a ton of damage, and they're going to finish off Blitzcrank right there. So many fortifies coming in. Seirun was taken down by the tower, but they're going to get a kill on Mordekaiser. There's, I think, the third Fortify coming in on this fight, but Shen, for some reason, coming in to fight 1v4, he's not going to survive that. No way he makes it out of this. And there they go, going to finish off. Another Fortify coming in, Fortify number 4, but it's going to run out, and then eventually that tower is going to go down. Now, Ram is doing the same thing, coming out to fight 1v4. Honestly, their team just needs to give up this tower and then try to protect the Nexus towers. But no, Ram is going to go down needlessly as well, so just going to straight die there. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the game with all 5 members of their team down. They're just going to be able to push over these 2 Nexus towers and end it right here. So that's going to be GG, as Cole says, finally, after burning through all those fortifies on that particular tower. And they're going to take this game. So very well played to Atlas. Very nicely done. Just a good team game all around. And a nice contrast in styles between the 2 teams. So we'll wrap this up and we'll look at the stats and try to conclude this game. Here are the final stats from the game. You can see it was a very nice team effort all around. Terra Incognita led them with getting all those kills and getting a lot of assists. But it was very much a team effort because the rest of the team did a great job of keeping him alive and keeping him protected. If you notice, the fights where Terra stayed alive, they pretty much won all of those fights. The fights where he died, they mostly lost them. Seirun did a really nice job of controlling this game. He moved between the lanes very well early in the game. Late in the game, his ults were doing a lot of damage, and he bought repeated oracles to clear wards, was instrumental instrumental in stealing the one dragon, giving them Baron control. Just thought he played a really strong game this time. I mean, 7-5 doesn't look that great, but then you see the 24 assists, and it looks a lot better. Cole, a slow start with Swain. The only thing I don't like about that build that Cole was using was he didn't really get any ability power until almost the 30-minute mark, so it was a very slow developing build, but he turned into a pretty strong character at the end. Developed actually had, I think, 19 stacks on his Magi Soulstealer at the end, so even though that was a bit of a strange Janna build, it did work out for him. And then Atlas ended up getting a ton of kills in this game, which is kind of funny because he built straight tank, but, you know, Garen does deal a decent amount of damage now that he's been buffed back to the point where he's playable again, and he was tanking really well for the team, and the double aura items, the Starks, the Aegis, the Legion, definitely helping there at the end of the game. I think Garen, like Taric, is a character who you can stack some auras on, and is a pretty good character to get them on. Anyway, in terms of the game overall, the contrast between the way in which the two teams played, one a traditional team setup, the other this sort of wacky teleport fortify thing, was really interesting to just watch play out throughout the course of the game. I thought it was very entertaining. The downfall of the other team was, in the end, just getting sucked into all those team fights. Once they started team fighting, if you notice, they really started losing most of the engagements. They would have done much better to just keep pushing lanes, teleporting all over the place, using their mobility, using fortify to defend towers that were being pushed, but just not fight in a big battle. You know, that's sort of the cliched way to play League of Legends. Everybody groups up and we have a big team fight, and whoever wins pushes on and then gets towers and then wins the games. But you don't have to play that way, and if you're going to take all those teleports, you probably shouldn't try to play that way, because you're not going to be that successful if you do it that way. So that's something that they could have done. And then the other thing was not taking Baron. They had 2 chances to take Baron when they really should have taken it. So I think that ultimately was the thing that contributed to them losing this game. But interesting game to watch nonetheless. Anyway, so in closing, I'll just say once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. We appreciate the subscribers. I'm going to try to set up a game where me and some of my friends play against Jerry and some of his friends. We've been talking a little bit about that. I think that would be something that would be really fun to put up on the Button Mashers. So again, if you think that sounds like a great idea, talk to Jerry, just pester him about that, and we'll try to set this up. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.